Welcome back, Officers of the Republic. Is your Coruscant Underworld Police Chief AP Gaines here, and it's still finals for me, so this video is being pre-recorded a couple days in advance. So if you're seeing this video, that means I have a final today, which means I will be very, very inactive, but this video is still meant to be a discussion. So unfortunately, I'll probably be getting to the comment section a couple hours after the video is posted, just because of class, but I do want this to be a video where everyone who's watching it hops over into the comment section and discusses the topic of the video, the best early game free-to-play squad that you can have in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Now, it's flip-flopped around for me from one team to now it's maybe this team or it's this team, but I'm going to bring up the big two that are definitely at the top of the list, then talk about some honorable mentions, and then, of course, ask for your guys' input because, of course, one man can only be so smart without the help of everyone else, so I obviously want your guys' input. So let's hop into the game. At the top, you guys see the new king, in my humble opinion, of the early game. We're talking pre-1 million GP. Not a team where it's like, oh, Relic'd out of its mind, so we kind of left Imp Troopers off because, yes, they can be super good offensively. They can punch up. Not much defensive viability because of the AI, but people like to, super Relic them, do like some sort of C push early. We're not really going to consider that squad, but I have SWGOH in at the top. For a couple of reasons, of course, took the throne away from another team that we'll talk about here. But CLS, obviously, we unlock him right at level 85. Totally just fine. Comes at 7 stars. We can get him up early in terms of gear. He's good. He's good. Han Solo, he's free. You get him in raids. As you guys are starting out, make sure that you guys are hopping on the Discord, going into like the guild recruiter, get into a nice guild. There's tens of thousands of guilds who just need players. They do dark side territory battles for Geonosis. You can get in there, you get in a good guild. That's not going to be a problem for a lot of you guys. Chewbacca, we got to farm up some bounty hunters early. For some GAC viability, obviously 60 to 61, 62 banners and GAC with boss lead and stuff like that. So we're going to have that Chewbacca anyway. So this team really is put together really around level 85. Once we hit level 85, of course, you guys know my guide. We get a bunch of teams, and then once it hits level 85, we unlock them all at once, and we got a fantastic roster. So CLS, Han Solo, Chewbacca, we should be having at level 85, or maybe a week after level 85, depending on how efficient you guys are. So we have two more characters that we need to discuss, C-3PO and 3PO and Chewie. But let's quickly talk about CLS being the kings, obviously, of the Underman, especially early game. They do punch up quite a bit. You can take out much stronger teams with these guys. You're not going to be taking out full Relic 5 characters at, I mean, these guys would, but like if you had them at Gear 7, Gear 8, Gear 9, they're not going to be punching up, 3 gear levels plus 5 to 6 Relic levels. Don't get ahead of yourself. But for the characters you guys are going to be facing, you're going to be getting 62 banners every single time, especially with Chewbacca. Chewbacca's Zeta, not the one that like prevents him from the loyal friend Zeta. Recovering 3% health and protection is great for recovering a couple of banners, maybe for your opponent counterattacks or something like that. So this team, fantastic. Super high offense, super amazing on defense, and it scales. So now we're going to talk about C-3PO and 3PO and Chewie. The reason this team scales into the endest of end games, it's in the mid game, it's in the early game, which is why I kind of threw this in here as, obviously the best, but also it scales along with you. So C-3PO, obviously you got to farm your Ewoks, and that event sucks. And the C-3PO really bumps up the viability of the squad, but the squad doesn't necessarily need C-3PO for you guys who are in the early game. Yes, obviously, if you have, insert squad here and you have hard characters and everyone's super relict, those squads are going to be better than a Gear 10 version of this squad. But as this squad scales, of course, it's going to be much more viable. So C-3PO obviously will, I keep saying obviously. It's like, I don't know. It's become part of my vernacular. Maybe it's not so obvious, but C-3PO is going to help this squad a lot. But you don't necessarily have to have him super early because this is the early game version. 3PO and Chewie, of course. I substituted, obviously, of course. Guys, I know school is kicking my butt right now. I need to hit a thesaurus. You guys, send me your favorite word. What's your favorite word? My favorite word is exsanguination. That's my favorite word. Obviously, there it is again. I'm in need of a thesaurus. Comment your favorite word along with your take on who the best early game team is. I will avoid those two words for the rest of the video. 3PO and Chewie, in case you guys didn't know, because it's not obvious, goes really well with a strong leadership. He shares a lot of those buffs and stuff like that. So I've actually changed my tune from, Chewbacca then Han Solo in terms of relics, now that 3PO, because that was before 3PO and Chewie even existed. But now because he's very good, especially at low stars, low gear, he can add a lot of viability. I'm moving my focus to relicking that Commander Luke Skywalker early. So if you look at Nicole's account, she's pushing a relic on CLS as opposed to Han Solo or Chewbacca. So 3PO and Chewie C-3PO add a lot of long-term viability to this team. Best non-galactic legend defensive team. Very, very good on offense, counter stuff like gas. And it counters everything, basically, if you use it correctly. A fantastic team. Of course, a nice separator here between the squad that it replaced. Drum roll, please. You guys all know Padme. Padme was the queen of the early game team before 3PO and Chewie kind of gave that extra viability, because it used to be the CLS consideration would be CLS, Han Solo, Chewbacca. We wouldn't worry about C-3PO too much, and we kind of didn't really know who that fifth character was, but now we have an obvious. I said it again. Well, that time it is obvious, so I'm completely okay and justified in saying obvious in this situation. So take that, Thesaurus. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that, Rex. I'm pretty sure that's like a dinosaur or something. But Padme was the queen. I, in my opinion, I believe was usurped by the CLS team with the advent of 3PO and Chewie. Also a character we unlock right at level 85. Once we finally take over at level 85, we use Django to solo that event. We don't got to worry about Geos or anything like that. 2 super, super important early game Zetas, as well as a Zeta on Anakin, so he can get ticked off, call Padme back to assist, so she can kick, she can heal, she can basic for some more protection up. Goes with a very, very good tank in General Kenobi, who's also going to be your best pilot of your capital ship, as well as Anakin's going to be the best pilot of your best ship. So really good offensively, punches up huge, great defensively if you can get a couple of key gears, higher on Anakin, or especially if you're about 1 million GP, you can maybe relic him. I recommend him, of course, being the second relic. I said, of course, obviously, and something else. Man, I got to think of new words to use, guys. So these guys are viable, not only in fleets, but also in this squad. Top leadership. Yoda, huge damage. His Zeta to pass buffs and foresight around is very good. Can be thrown over onto Jedi Knight Revan, so never ashamed to have a good, strong, high offense Yoda. Ahsoka with the Zeta will be assisting and dispelling on her basic. A very good utility for this team. This was the old queen of the early game. Obviously being usurped. I said obvious again, man. Guys, school is getting to me. I almost said obviously again. Life's not going too great. School's hard. It's stressful. Just trying to make some SWGOH videos. I feel like Padme. I feel like life is Shmeeless. I'm Padme. I was on top. Now life's gotten the better of me. The only thing in between me and total failure is God. In SWGOH, it's Cup, but for real life, it's God. And then something looming off in the distance is the 6969 subscribers coming soon. Hopefully, guys, July is basically over. So we're trying to get 6969 by September 1st, but I think by January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Okay, wait. January, February. Wait, hang on. I literally cannot do the months without thinking there's a plane flying by and I cannot concentrate. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Is it almost July, August? Okay. And September. Okay. Someone was telling me that we should do it by September 9th, but we're going to have it by August, 12th. Okay. 6969 subscribers by August 12th. August 12th. August 12th, we'll have 6969 subscribers, and we'll get to celebrate together. Of course, obviously, all the words I promised I wouldn't use, I want you guys in the comment section. You guys are going to have some differing ideas. Maybe you guys have bounty hunters. Maybe you guys really do think that those imp troopers, especially if you use all of your resources to relic them up really quickly, are just so good on offense that they make up for their shortcomings everywhere else. Maybe you think it's Bastila Shan led the squad arena team you guys are probably using. They get great banners on offense, obviously with their protection up. Leave out the Revens. The Revens, I'm not going to consider them like your first great early game team. But of course, if you guys have other suggestions, let me know in the comments. Wish me luck. Hashtag pray for AP. School is almost over. And then I have a week break. And then I get. Actually, it's less than a week. It's like 5.5 days. 5.5 days between summer school and fall school. Let's go. As always, I love you guys. I'll see you later.